All right, everybody, got a new video for you. We are working on the T.R.O.G racer and got a mag for this thing. It's a Sportster mag, an older one, Fairbanks Morse. And when I got it, it wasn't working, and I thought I'd send it off. I didn't know anything about these mags, and so I thought I'd send it off. Called a guy in Michigan, and he was 6 months before he could get to it. And then I called another company, another place, and they didn't return the phone call. And so I got on, started taking it apart. I thought I'm gonna figure this thing out, and ordered a kit on eBay, which you can do, by the way. And what I thought I would do is just go over the how they work, make it simple, because that's sort of what I do. Things have to be simple for me. And so all you have to do to work on one of these mags is get a basic first understanding of it. This is the magnetic roller. You can see as it turns, you can see the magnet as it turns there, and you can feel this as it turns. Now the way to get to that and to work on this mechanism is to knock that pin out right there, which is, by the way, easier said than done, but I did do it. Take that pin out, take those and pull the gear off. Take those 4 bolts out there. Take those 4 bolts out. And then the roller, the magnetic barrel there, and the shaft comes out this way. Comes out through that, and then this housing slides off of it. There is a bearing in there. Knock the bearing out. You can order that. I was able to clean this one up, and this kit comes with a seal, but it had a good seal. And what I did was clean it up really good. I sprayed some cleaner in it and kept cleaning and got it real clean. And then I put the grease in it, put the seal back in it, and slid this back on. When I had this magnetic barrel, they call it, or magnetic rotor, out, I cleaned all of this. You can see now the way these things work. They work like a lawnmower. You have a magnetic field, magnetic coil, and this magnetic field goes across the coil, and that's what produces the spark. It, of course, magnifies the voltage and produces a spark. And so I took all of the metal side of this side here, and cleaned all of it with a drill and a wire brush, and then I, of course, cleaned it all out after that, so it didn't have no wire in there, and got the bearings and the seals and everything, and just put it back together, and you can actually feel that working now. So how they work, they have a positive and negative side. You can see this one right here, the ground is coming out here. So if you put this coil inside there, where the ground is going, you got 2 screws here, Allen screws, we'll look at here in a second. You put them in there, like so. Okay, when you get it in there, now watch this thing when I turn it. This is this is producing a magnetic field that's coming around both sides. You can see when I turn it there, see it locked in. The magnetic field pulled it in. You can turn it again, and it comes loose. So you have the magnetic field there, pulls it in. Then you take your Allen screws here, you put them in there, and that holds that in place. Both of them. That's what holds it, holds the coil in place. There's also a key switch. I had to knock the key switch out because it didn't have a key, and it was bad anyway, but it didn't have a key. And I'm not putting this back in there. I'm going to actually take and put, I'm going to seal that up, and then I'm going to put a ground switch that comes off the ground wire here over to this, and you can just push in on it like that, and it would kill the mag. Or you could run a wire off this, which I've thought about doing, around up to the bars, like for where the horn switch or something would be on the older bikes, and you could ground it that way. So either way you wanted to do that would work. And then I ordered points, and which I'd highly recommend, and a condenser. This stuff would be more of a headache than it's worth if you didn't put new stuff in there. And this is my old stuff. Be careful not get that mixed up. And so in order to put these points in, all you have to do is let me make sure I get this right now. Slide that down on the shaft there. Bring it around like so. Take your other part of your points there. It slides inside there. You see how I did that? Slide that inside there. And you can feel that stuff lock in there. See, that's how your points would work. Then we could take a couple of our screws, put back in this. My big hands trying to get these little screws in there. I just want to give you the basics of this so you can see how they work. It was not that hard. I'll get that in just a second. It's not that hard to do. Then your condenser will go here. Then all of your wires, the wires go underneath here and they lay inside there kind of neatly in a way. And this plastic piece goes on there. Put your wires together. And then this your point side over here goes on that as well. Get this straight here. So I need to get a bigger screwdriver in a minute. What I'm trying to show you here is just the basics of this. There we go. I'm gonna try to give you how this looks. I can work on this in detail a little bit more in a minute. But this, there is a clip that goes on here on top of your shaft for your points that holds that in place. Like that. And then of course we put your screw in there and adjust the points, you know, in and out like that, how they go. And then as your shaft goes around, see, you break them. So what happens is, once again, just like a lawnmower, this is set up like a lawnmower that has the big magnet that goes around a coil like that. You have your magnetic barrel, goes around, produces the magnet, comes around here, hits into the coil here on this. It's grounded this way. These tighten up against it to keep it snug. It feeds the ground through here. Your points breaks that so that they're arcing at the right time, and that's how they work. And so the rebuild, which I'm gonna work on, you know, routing my wires and everything, and making this a little bit neater. But I wanted to give you the gist of it. You know, your two connections here will go in there. Got the gasket, and then your plug wires come off of that. And when we get ready to time the motor, you can see that again. Watch this. You can see it come loose there. So whenever we get ready to time this thing, I'll put it all together a little bit better, and we get ready to time it on the WLDR that we're building. I'll show you how that works and everything. But anyway, that's a mag. You don't have to send it off. They're not that hard. Take the thing apart. It's got a set of bearings here and a set of bearings there and a seal. Pull the pin, pull that, pull this 4 screws, pull it out of there, clean everything up real good. More than likely, if you clean everything up really well, you put bearings in there, and then about all that can happen is a condenser or a coil, and you can replace those as well. Buy the whole kit on eBay, and that's it. So that's going to be our mag for the T.R.O.G racer, and got a little bit of grease here to go on the shaft. It's going to be a fun do. Also, I'm going to get to the carburetor here before long. I'm waiting on some parts, but the M52, we're going to put it gets a UL, big twin carburetor on a 45, because we're going to have this thing breathing and cammed and running a little better than normal. So got all my parts laid out for that. That's got waiting on a few things to head my way, and then we'll finish it up. So this is the T.R.O.G racer rebuilding a mag, part 2.